All right, we're here. We're streaming. We're live, and my lady is to my left. She's awesome. I gotta tell you something here. All right, I've been weaving the tale of the formula and the emissions in the great state of Arizona. Dealio. Do people still say that? Here's the deal. I took it through emissions for its fifth test, and it failed the fifth time for the same thing. Now I'm going to try to get this onto the screen so you can see it. Actually, excuse me, I am of mature age, so need the specs. Actually, I look good in these. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see here if I can get you to show you this without showing you my personal information. I've shown you emissions tests before. All right, this is probably going to come out backwards. Okay, long story short, fifth test, and my HC and CO are beautiful. But nitrides of oxygen, I failed the test on, which is real common for an LT1. There's another guy on YouTube, I don't know where he is, he's in the Denver area, he kept failing with his LT1 as well. It was a real problem for him, and he kind of gave up. And I'm about ready to give up myself. But the standard in this state is, and they don't tell you, it's in grams per mile. They don't tell you what speed, what RPM, what anything. You just say, here it is, and you didn't pass it. The standard is 2.00. My car failed at 2.02. Okay, for those who aren't familiar with the metric system or with small decimals, okay, the 0 in 2.02 is in what's called the tenths position. The 2 is in what's called the hundredths position. What I'm telling you is that I failed by a margin of error with a car that now has 183,000 miles on it and has had lots of things replaced and fixed. Now, this car is going to be 25 years old in 2020. Qualifies as a classic vehicle at that point. In the early times of this car, the early ownership of this car, it never had to pass an NOx reading in this state. Now it does. The car was never designed to pass an NOx reading, especially with stricter standards. Now, yes, in the past 10 years, the NOx standard has been 2.0. Yes. But this car is 25 years old. Now, insult to injury. I have a plan for this, a couple of plans actually. This car will be registered. And it's done damn well. It's still fast than a greased pig. Not a good analogy. It's fast. Knockwood, runs well. I drive it to work. I don't want to drive it to work because it's too nice a car. And let me tell you, Phoenix traffic is horrible. If no traffic, I can get to work in 25 minutes. With the average traffic in the morning, an hour to an hour and a half. That's how bad traffic is in Phoenix there, in the Metro Phoenix area. And so I don't like putting the car through that. I have plans to get another vehicle exclusively for commuting, and it'll probably be a truck. Who cares? I'll probably do videos on that too. I do videos on everything. I did videos on my lady's door handle, for God's sake. So anyway, so I already know I have an issue here. But there is kind of an overtone or an undertone or some kind of tone in Arizona of just kind of people being treated like children, being treated mean, being treated with disdain. And I have proof of it here. I just got a letter today from the Arizona Department of Transportation informing me, I will read this verbatim. The registration on your vehicle has expired. Renew your vehicle registration online at servicearizona.com or by phone at blah, 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 or at any motor vehicle division or authorized third-party office. If you wish to renew by mail, send your invoice for renewal and check. Include late fee. to Motor Vehicle Division, P.O. Box 29035, Phoenix, Arizona 85038. Fine. There is my public service TSA part of this video. If you have sold the vehicle, you may place a sold notice online at servicearizona.com or by following the instructions on the back of your vehicle registration. If you already read the registration, please disregard this notice. Okay, in bold print, penalty for failing to register. If you do not register the vehicle, you may receive traffic tickets and court fines. Now, I researched the fine for late registration. It could be as bad as $600 for expired tags. You could literally start someone's front lawn on fire, or slap them upside the head and have a lesser fine. I'm not kidding. And for motor vehicle office hours, okay. Here's the deal. This process is such a racket in this state. They charge you for the tests. They demand vehicles pass standards that they were never designed to pass. Period. GM purposely made this vehicle to run hotter so that it would pass HC and CO emissions, not NOx. The vehicle was engineered to run this way. And the state says that's not good enough. It is designed to get older cars off the road, not because they're polluters, mass polluters. That's the tag. They're designed to try to get more money into the system, because in this state we have a progressive license, vehicle license tax, which means it's based on the value of the vehicle when new, and it ratchets down from there. So you go buy yourself your 2019, 2020 Camaro and pay 30, 40 grand for it, you're probably looking at $1,500 in tags. 1 year. Oh, and by the way, they just instituted, this state did, a new fee, a $32 fee. It was originally $96, that nobody voted on. Nobody was asked about. They just slid it in there, and they call it the DPS fee, which is a fee for the Department of Public Safety, which everybody is still wondering what they do. I see lots of funerals on TV. Maybe it's for that. I don't know. Look, in Arizona, honestly, I really don't have that big a problem with DPS, because if there's any police agency in this state that's going to do something for you, it's DPS. But I'm sorry, they don't need any more money, and I'm pretty much convinced this is a slush fund, another state slush fund. So I'll put it to you this way. The tags on this car for a year used to be less than $20. That was the percentage fee of the vehicle's value. That was the air quality fee, and that was the just the basic tax, the vehicle tax. Now there's an extra $32. This car costs $52 a year to license now because of this fee. And now I'm getting harassed, and I'm told that I'm not in compliance and that bad things will happen to me because of their screwed up system. I've ranted on this before, but I'm really getting tired of this attitude. You know, we have lots of people coming in this state from California, Illinois, mostly California, Illinois, actually. Some from New York. You know, people like this usually have attitudes. They're not going to take kindly to this. And as they become a larger part of the population, this kind of crap ain't going to fly. I can tell you this much. I will comply, but because I want to. There are loopholes. There are ways around this. I'm choosing not to, because I'm not going to inconvenience myself anymore for this state, and neither should anybody. In fact, one of my possibilities and avenues is that I just wait a month. This car will be 25 years old, and I register it as a classic. The only contingency is if you guys choose to do something like that, usually the state will say, actually the insurance policy will say, you have to have another vehicle available for your personal use. They don't say you have to own it, but you have to have another vehicle that is available for personal use. So keep that in mind. But otherwise, I can get around all this crap. But it's BS. There's an attitude here I don't appreciate. And it's an unfair standard. It's unjust. It's harassment. And insult to injury, to treat me like a child, to send me a notice that says that somehow I'm doing something wrong when I've went through emissions 5 times. trying to comply when I've spent umpteens hundreds of dollars to try to comply. And I will spend umpteens more. The problem with this car for the gearheads here is the 2.02, there's two things that could be going on. One of them is, and I'm going to check this, is there could be a problem. On this particular vehicle, it has what's called an emission control or emission valve solenoid, an EGR solenoid. And that solenoid may not, it's progressive, so it doesn't open just, you know, click and open. It's not a switch. It'll open the EGR progressively, and it may not be operating properly, which may be why I'm failing. The other possibility is, and there's a few videos back, when I changed the OptiSpark last time, or I was doing something on the front end, I crossed two wires, and for a few seconds, the catalytic converter, my brand new catalytic converter, glowed red cherry hot. And I may have damaged the catalytic converter, which may have been just enough damage to screw up any NOx canceling properties it has. That's the other possibility. Either way, if I do the catalytic converter, I'm looking at least $200. The standard in this state is you have to have $450 worth of repairs and still fail before you get a waiver. And they make it a very painful and lengthy process. But I'm going to try. The first thing is for about 50 bucks, I can get the solenoid. And I'll try the solenoid. Of course, I'll do testing, and we'll probably do a video on that as well. We'll see if that could possibly be the issue, because it is the original. It's the factory original. It's 25 years old. It could be bad. The EGR is new. Everything else is new. Everything else is clean. There's nothing else going wrong. And to be failing by that small, by literally the margin of error, and they fail it. Okay. You know, and the racket is that they get you on the testing, they get you on the fees, they're trying to get you to buy a new vehicle so that you can pay the sales taxes and pay the emission fees. And if you don't, then they get you to go to then by the way, now we have state approved emission testing or emission repair facilities. Now they followed California's example. So there's a racket. All just to register a car. This should not be hard, guys. Why are they even testing a car that's 25 years old? I'll guarantee the majority of these cars were beat to hell and are sitting in a junkyard, you know, somewhere waiting for me to get the parts for. I guarantee that, or wrapped around a tree. And the fact that that margin is so small, I should not be suffering this penalty. But I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of this. I'm tired of this state. I'm telling you something. I'm a guy in my middle age. I'm a guy who in 20 years will probably be retired. I'm not retiring to the state. This state can kiss my ass. They could smoke the big one. I don't give a shit. I'm done. This is part of the reason I will not retire here. I will not leave my money here. I will not do business here. I will be somewhere else. Because of the way this state treats people and the way they're constantly in people's pocketbook and this ideal, this false ideal they push. No. And let me tell you, next year, I'm never going to worry about this again because the formula will be registered as a classic. It will have classic insurance. And I will be driving something else that will easily pass emissions, and it will be something that I don't care about. But I had this same problem with I almost sold the El Camino because of this kind of issue. And that's not right, guys. That's not right. Anyway, that's my rant. I've told you what I'm going to do. I've told you the plan. I've told you what the evil is. Right now, and here's the other option if you guys are similar, if you need buy a little time, for $15, all you got to do is put in your VIN and your driver's license number into servicearizona.com, and you can get a 30-day permit. Makes the car legal for 30 days. That's what I've done right now. That buys me time, and it keeps me from that $600 ticket. And it shows you being responsible in their eyes. Anyway, that's it. That's the update. No, the formula still hasn't passed emissions because of something stupid. It's not a reason. It's not a matter of the car's running badly, or that it's been treated badly, or that I'm doing something wrong. It's a matter of basically an unfair standard being applied. and an opportunity to make money. And it's the same thing with this state. You know, I'm not for people driving drunk or anything like that, but they do the same thing. I know I have a friend who has had 3 DUIs. He's still an alcoholic. He still drinks too much. And the most recent outcome of all the great help and support he's gotten from this state, from extorting from him about $20,000 when you're through, between lawyers' fees and all that, and jail time and that kind of thing. What's the end result? He shot off a gun in his apartment, got a ricochet, took out his eye. He has no eye and had reconstructive surgery on his face. Yeah, that's what good Arizona does for people with the way the legal system here works and with their procedure. Now that's something, that's criminal, that's DUI, that has nothing to do with emissions or that, but it's the same thinking. All they care about is extorting, Freudian slip, extracting as much money out of you as they possibly can. That's all they care about is money. Whether it's something in the criminal system, something in the civil system, or even as easy as a car, all they're about is the money. And that's sick. But that's government. Folks, we need to be the change. We need to be the world we want to see. And then we do it by not complying. We do it by speaking out. We do it by saying this is wrong. Do I have to comply now? Yeah, because I need to drive the car. But I'm saying something about it, and I'm doing something about it, and I'm letting you know that it's something that's wrong. Maybe somebody with a little more power than I can do something about it. Anyway, that's it. That's my rant. There you go. Hope there's some good information in there. I'm done. You guys have a wonderful evening. And have a happy holiday season. Take care. Camino guy is out.